What are you making of these huge inflation numbers, and how about how they're going down on the high street in Mansfield?
Good afternoon. Yeah, lots of people will be making that periodical decision to look at their finances, look at where they can maybe save a little bit of money, where they should save a little bit of money, and where they can actually make a few sacrifices. Of course, when you're seeing things like 9%, it's often a value that people have already been experiencing. 9%, that's the figure for April. And of course, at the start of April, we saw that 54% hike in the price cap, the off-gem price cap. Now, where people might find that they can save a little bit of money is, of course, in their supermarkets or by going to the high street and actually looking at where the different cost-saving mechanisms can be actually inputted. So I've been speaking to one butcher who's been on the high street actually here in Mansfield for 40 years. So he's seen this period and knows kind of how this level of inflation can affect his business and affect his consumers. So I've been asking him, how are your consumers feeling at the moment?
People are buying very carefully. They watch what they're spending. They're looking for better cuts of meat, expensive cuts of meat to go further. And they're buying a lot more sort of sausage and bacon, cooking breakfast a lot more. We're selling loads more sausage rolls for some reason, and steak pies.
How is it in comparison to maybe people that would have liked to go for a restaurant meal? Are you finding that people are changing their shopping habits and coming here instead of going out to eat in Mansfield or other big cities?
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. I think people are preferring to cook at home, knowing what they've got. They've got value for money. They've paid it up front and they've got value for money. They've got a plate full of meat. What more do they want?
And how is the wider cost of living crisis affecting you as a businessman?
We've just got to look at what we're doing, look at what we're selling, probably better products at a better price, upping his game a little bit and getting value for money.
And what about things like fuel? How is that affecting your prospects for driving, anything that you might do with deliveries, people bringing the product to you that you're going to have to sell here?
The deliveries have been affected. They only come 3 times a week to us. Now we used to be delivered daily, but now we have it 3 times a week. We get by, we can do it. Sort of planners the game a bit more, so we have a delivery 3 times a week rather than daily.
Are you finding that people seem quite worried about their money? The conversations that they have, people that you know quite well and have become friends and in some ways family, are you noticing that they're talking about it in quite a fearful way, or are people just accepting what's happening?
Well, people have got to accept it. I think people are fed up of it on the news. Everywhere we turn, there's increases everywhere, fuel everywhere. People have just accepted it and they just seem to buy with confidence, I think. A bit more confidence in it.
And I think the message there, the idea from Tracy certainly is that people, his customers, are getting quite used to this cost of living crisis. It doesn't mean that it's easy, it doesn't mean that they aren't having challenges, but they are getting used to seeing these price increases and getting used to having to make decisions that they wouldn't have had to make 1 year or 2 years ago.